is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Coming to you live from the
That's what I'm talking about.
Mortgage bedroom in Frisco, Texas.
Yes.
I have my Super Bowl 2021 shirt on. I am calling Gerald McCoy. I'm canceling Mexico. I'm calling Gerald McCoy, and I am telling him, don't even come to Dallas. Nate, quit rattling your papers. I'm trying to talk. We are going to Tampa in February.
You looking good,
Mexico
Shannon.
is canceled. Let's go. I got my Florida shirt on, brother. I am
Like
so
that shirt.
ready.
Good looking
I am
shirt.
so ready. How you fellas doing?
That's
Good.
what I'm talking about, Shannon. From now on, that's the energy that you gotta have on a Monday morning. From now on, that's the energy you gotta have on a Monday morning, baby.
Let's go, man. How can I not have energy after that?
And guess
draft?
what?
Man.
And I just called Vegas on the over and under how long it would take Shannon to switch back to Mexico.
Oh, man.
I just called Vegas,
Mexico
baby. They finna have it up on the line in less than an hour.
I like Tampa. Hey, Tampa is on my short list of cities I would leave Dallas for. So, hey, Mexico is canceled. I'm all in on Tampa in February.
That is my first
cold.
Super Bowl too. That was my first
Ooh, was
Super
it?
Bowl was Tampa, New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. That was my first Super Bowl I attended, man. So I'm with you, Shannon. It's time to go to Tampa.
And you know
baby.
what? And you know what, Nate? If there was any city that I would want to go watch a Super Bowl with or be in the Super Bowl city for a week with to do this show with you, it would be Tampa. Because that's your star.
Oh, yeah, because tell Derek Egan he ain't got to worry about me no room. That's my peeps up in Tampa, Miami, Orlando. I'm in the house, dog. Whether y'all go or not, I'm going. Thank you.
Hey, after the stories you told about Atlanta, I'm not sure any of us are safe with you in Tampa.
Hey, bro.
All right, let's
You
go
don't want
around
me
the
in
horn.
that.
Let's
Never
see.
mind. I ain't even go there, man.
Go ahead.
I ain't going to even go there.
By the way, we all have our Bose headphones on today for the show. Shout out to Bose, man. These things are awesome. I got the 700 series. I think you guys got the 35 series, the Quiet Comfort 30. These things are legit. So
Yes.
appreciate you, Bose,
They
for
are.
hooking us up. Still working on getting you boys fed. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than
It'll happen, man.
We'll get that figured
Soon as you able to eat, we know the rest of us going to eat. We know that, Shannon. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Waiting on him.
Jesse, how did you watch? Before we get into the actual Cowboys draft, how did you watch the overall draft? Did you watch it all 3 days, and where
Yeah.
and how did you view it?
I watched it all 3 days. I kept my pants on. I tried to keep my pants on as much as I
Jesse,
possibly
speaking
could. I don't
out
want to
loud.
get too football horny.
Oh,
that's
come
great,
on.
Jesse. Whatever
I'm
you
just
say.
saying. I'm just saying. I didn't want to get too much football horny, but I watched all 3 days. I mean, there's nothing else on TV, so it was like really, really tuning in for that. Watching in the living room, turned it up loud, made everyone get out, no one be around, and so watched it, loved it. Like
Having fun.
there were moments in the draft I was like, and then once you see the draft kind of for the Cowboys get to completion, everything I loved. I gave the Cowboys. If Jerry has to go out on his big boat, I'm so sorry, his yacht, not call it a boat, his yacht, to get this kind of draft, then let him go. Let him sail the 7 seas and let him do whatever he has to do, man. But I do have to say that I know that, we're going to say a lot of things, but just out the gate, just kudos to Will McClay and his staff. I don't know how much longer we will have Will McClay here. I would love to have him here for life, but things change over time. Options may come open. Money may be get offered in the future, down the line. I know that he wants to be here for family reasons, but shout out to Will McClay and his staff, man, for putting together and having one of the best drafts that I can remember in a very long time from start to finish.
Kurt, how and where did you watch? I'm assuming at home with all the focus that's in town.
Yeah, I was at home, but it was a little different for me this year. I actually watched it on my laptop and tuned in to kind of the live show that DallasCowboys.com did with Jamie Foxx and DeMarcus Ware. Tuned in a little bit there. Spent most of my time with our draft show, which Dave Hellman, Kyle Yeoman, Dane Brugler, and KT, Kevin Turner, they did a fabulous job. So I actually had the TV on but turned down, and for the first time kind of was all in on them on Thursday night. Friday and Saturday I was kind of in and out, had some other stuff going on, so caught it when I could and listened to, again, quite a bit of it from our boys online. So it was a little different experience for me, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought some of the things they did or they were forced to do because of the situation actually turned out pretty well, and I thought it was a pretty enjoyable experience overall.
Yeah. Nate, how did you watch it?
I had to work it for the network that I work for. I don't know if we can bring it up over this, but I worked the first 2 days. The third day, I really don't work because I'm not into 5th and 6th and 7th rounders unless they show up on the field and show out.
Ooh.
I mean, even though I was a free agent, nobody wanted me. I understood one thing: I had to show up and show out. Nobody really cared whether I got drafted or not. Once you get past the 4th round, you're a 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. You're a step away from being a free agent. If you're a step away from being a free agent, you fit into that same category. You do not get an opportunity to mess up. You only get opportunity to shine. So, all of this, the tackle they got from Utah, the quarterback they got, they got to step up and show out. That's the bottom line. So I don't do the third day of the draft. I leave that to Chris Beam and guys like that. He's the one. Chris Beam kept me abreast. I'm serious. I called Chris Beam last night, and he told me about the guys because I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. And unless they show up at training camp and show out, then I would give you a full report on them. Kurt, you're looking good, baby. You're looking sweet.
Ooh, I'm trying. Yeah. What about you, Shannon? How'd you watch it?
By the way, shout out to Chris Beam for manning the helm today while Matt Kent, I'm assuming, is getting moved into his new dig. So Chris is running the show today. Appreciate you helping us out, Chris. I watched it right here in the bedroom. The first night I had the Jamie Foxx and DeMarcus Ware show up, which actually, knowing what all was going on behind the scenes and knowing what all was happening leading up to that, I thought they did a great job. Shout out to Corey Miller and his whole staff for putting that thing on, and calling a virtual live show where no one is in the same place at the same time is a nightmare. And for them to pull it off with minimal hiccups, I thought they did a great job. It was fun to watch that, be a part of that, and of course we had a conference call pulled up where all of my team and Nick's team and Derek's team and Scott Purcell and Rox's, all their team were kind of in and out of this video conference call all 3 days. Really, we had it pulled up for the duration of the draft, and everybody was able to say, hey, who's working on this, who's working on that, who's working on this, and for us to be able to just it was kind of neat just to chip in and do all that. So, and then I was bouncing into the living room watching some of it on TV, and like you said, Kurt, I think that some of the stuff they did was really cool because it humanized some of these people that you just a lot of people put these coaches in a box where they're above everybody else, and they're different. They're people you see on TV, and they have this persona And just to see some of those people be real people, they have pets, they have kids, they have families, they have, they're human. And that was kind of cool to see them in their element and just be like, hey, they're sitting there watching this on their TV in their living room or their office or whatever, just like I am. I thought that part of it was actually cool. So it was pretty cool. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Thank you.
Let's get into. Well, Nate, I could barely hear myself talk because you got some kind of commotion going on at the house. I don't know what's going on.
No, it ain't me. It ain't me, man. Somebody else making all that noise, bro. My doors are closed all the way.
Maybe it's, I don't know what's going on. Somebody's got some business going on. But
you scared to blame Jesse for anything, right? You scared to blame Jesse for anything.
We know.
Yeah, I know all of my doors are closed shut in my house because I know my wife know better.
Ooh, no better.
Well, it was a woman in the background, and I know there's probably not a woman on this planet that's going to put up with Jesse's mess long enough to hang around. So that's why
not one.
Jesse.
My mama.
So let's get into it, Jesse. I'm going to give
Yes.
you the floor first because you are an offensive guy.
Yes.
We got a hell of a deal. I think Steven said they had this guy CeeDee Lamb out of Oklahoma. They had him at number 6 on their board, and he falls all the way to 17. I know everybody on this show was wanting us to go defense. And we didn't. We went offense. So, Jesse, tell us, what did you think? At what point did you think that he was going to fall to us? And did you think they were going to take him? And then, when they did take him, what were your thoughts?
Well, as I'm watching it and I see the Ruggs kids go to the Raiders, I'm like, okay, that's an odd one off the board first, but okay. And then as we got to about 13, 14, you start hearing the commotion, and I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm just like, now I know I wanted a defensive player, but if CeeDee Lamb falls to 17, this is a guy that you have to take. I've watched him play in several games. I know where he trains at, so I've watched him through his training process. And when he got to the Cowboys, it was a no-brainer that you had to pick this guy up. And that was the first time that literally I had to buckle down the pants because my football horniness went through the roof. And I just thought, getting this guy with the offense that we had, knowing what Mike McCarthy brings, and just seeing how Dak took the step forward last year, close to 5,000 yards passing. You add him to 2,000-yard receivers already there in Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper, and you add Zeke, and you got Tony Pollard. You finally got the old man out, and Blake. I got so excited because I thought to myself, there's no way in hell that this football team should not be scoring 35 points a game. It was crazy, and I'm like, this dude he's polished. When I say polished, he's not coming in as a raw talent. He's not coming in as a one-trick pony. This is a guy, he doesn't have the breakaway speed. But when you're talking about a guy that's going to be playing in the slot, you need a guy who's going to be a route runner. And he is that. He can make contested catches. He is a physical runner. Reminds me when he gets the ball like a Deebo Samuels, who gets the ball and he makes people pay after he catches it. I mean, is elusive, has the quick twitch. I mean, he is the total package of what you want for a guy to play in the slot. And now you got a situation where you can move all these guys around. Amari can be inside, CeeDee can be outside, Gallup can be. I mean, this was a pick where I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this guy was available at 17 to us. And he is perfect. If there was a perfect piece to go into this offense, CeeDee Lamb is the perfect piece to drop into this offense to make this thing, if not the most explosive, the best all-around offense in all of football in the National Football League. And I mean from quarterback to receiver to running back to blocker. I mean, this is a legit group. And I was super excited. And then here's how I knew that CeeDee Lamb was ready for the Dallas Cowboys. And I know you guys saw this. when his girlfriend tried to grab the phone, I said this. CeeDee he's ready for McKinney. He's ready for Greenville. He's ready for all the attention that he's getting. He's like, nah. We ain't doing that, shorty. Let me get my phone back.
Yeah.
I was like, when he did that, I got so excited. I was like, yes, he's a dog. He's a dog in every sense of the word. Let's go, CeeDee.
Well, they got a two-way player. They drafted him as a receiver, but you saw he could play defense like a madman.
Listen,
so, give me that.
His Madden awareness should be at 99 out the gates. There's no need to adjust it. His peripheral is out the gates 100%. I love it. It was great, man. It was great.
The two things, Jesse, I got for you. One, I'm glad to hear. I thought for sure the voice of reason would come on here and be upset that we didn't take a defensive guy. So I'm glad to hear.
Oh wait, he's coming. He's next. His name is Nate Newton. He's next. So just give it.
But then I just from your background, so we can see kind of the intangibles of 40 times or whatever that Lamb brings. But you say he's coming as a good route runner. So he's not a Des Bryant who struggles with that kind of thing. You see a good route runner here.
Oh yeah, I don't want to throw Dez under the bus, but Now he doesn't have the the overall go up and snatch it from you like Dez. But as far as a guy, when you watch him at the line of scrimmage, and this is where most routes are won. Most routes are won at the line of scrimmage. He is phenomenal. Press coverage, off coverage. He understands how to accelerate, when to slow down, the progression in the route. Like, he understands that. And so as a route runner, this is not a guy that's going to have to come in and learn the route tree, learn how to run routes, No. He understands how to get open from a route running perspective. Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Wow. Nate, the guy that wanted defense, all 7 picks, right out of the gate, we draft a wide receiver. What do you think?
But this is what I'm thinking is the Cowboys stuck to their board. They got the 6th best player on their board. And I had to adjust quickly when they called CeeDee Lamb. You asked us a week ago or 2 weeks ago, what if CeeDee Lamb is there? What if all Chasen is there and Webb Henderson is there? And you say, what if they take CeeDee Lamb? And to a man, we all said, well, I guess we stuck with CeeDee Lamb. But at that time, it was fantasy football.
Right.
Now it's reality. Now you adjust to how you think and what's going to be. I agree with Jesse. The way Coach McCarthy can coach this, the way Kellen Moore will learn how to use this, you automatically have an extra guy that cannot get in the box now. There's nowhere in the world that you can slide a safety to the inside, leaning and looking at Zeke. Zeke will have a better open field. These guys, all receivers can play all positions. Now you look at it, okay, the Cowboys will control the ball at least 31 plus minutes per game. They will score, be able to have the ability to score with anybody in the league. It's nothing more to think about. Now our defense is playing 29 to 28 minutes a game. You coach, scheme it right, play it right. If they need to run it, they can. If they need to throw it, they can. Now it's truly what the defense give you, you can take, but what you want to take, you can have. With those type of, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Gallup, and you got the other kid we just signed up.
Amari.
This is an explosion just waiting to happen. We went from a stick of dynamite where you can light it to nitro glycerin, because you drop these guys anywhere on the field, some things can happen. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Jesse. I'm having protected sex, so I'm not all about the horniness and all of that. But,
we didn't need to know all that. That's too much information.
I'm just saying. But you have to adjust because out of the first 5 picks, I wanted, and I'm serious, I wanted all of it to be defense. But this draft dictated something else. It gave the Cowboys a chance in a long time to say, wow, this is the best player. This guy is the 6th on our board. How can we go with a guy that's 6th on our board down to a guy that's 28? to 28, between 17 and 28, that's a different tier of player. We got a generation of player in our possession. Can we use it? I think we can with Coach McCarthy. We will be able to use it. Our defense should not be on the field long enough to matter, is what I'm saying. Because these guys, I think, has that potential to be like a Kansas City. I think, and so I'm like I say, I'm not Viagra'd up, but I'm okay.
Kurt, are you Viagra'd up?
No, I can't. No, I got too much interference running around here.
What'd you think about the first round pick?
Well, it's same. I mean, it was exciting. I think that it was as many have said, it was the ultimate, need versus following your board, and I'm glad they followed their board. Some of the draft grades dinged them a little bit because they didn't take maybe a higher priority position, but. What Nate said, I mean, you just can't. You got your 6th best rated, highest whatever player on your draft board available. You got to take him. I mean, that's too big a difference. Too big. If it had been the 14th best guy available and you're picking 17th, maybe you go ahead and draft for need there. But man, when you got a wide receiver sitting there like that, you got to take him. I thought they did the smart thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the most exciting thing for me about that pick was the new regime is in town. We heard it from all the coaches. You heard them say, we're not going to try to take somebody and fit them into a scheme. We want talent. We want to take the talent and let them be them. And now, before we even get on the field, you see that in action. They went and got the best guy on the board. And they needed defense. They needed an edge rusher or a cornerback. And instead of trying to fit like they've done for the past 8, 9, 10 years, trying to squeeze somebody into where, well, we really need this, instead of just taking the best guy available, they went and got this guy. And I mean, it's a hell of a bargain. Number 6, he falls to 17. You got to take him. So we're seeing the new regime is not only told us what they're going to do, now we've seen them do it. And to Nate's point and Jesse's point, I'm super pumped to see between Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy how they use this guy, because he can play inside, he can play outside. You get Pollard on the field, you got Zeke, you got Blake Jarwin now. I think you're going to see a lot of motion. You're going to see a lot of, some 4 wide receiver sets, some, 5 and 6 guys out in patterns. I'm just excited to see what they can do with the weapons that they have. And to Nate's point, I mean, this offense, there's no reason why they can't run a ball control offense and just keep the defense off the field. And like Jesse said, you should score 35 points every single game. I mean, this could be one of the most exciting teams in the NFL. I mean, they've got the talent now. If Dak takes that next step and becomes, a top 5 quarterback, I mean, why not? Why would you not be in Tampa in February? I'm pumped, man.
The amazing thing about this Shannon and Jesse and old Pretty Kurt is it's nowhere in the world. And Jesse, I'm going to say this right here and let you take over if Shannon don't mind. It's nowhere in the world that we can't score at any time from anywhere on the field.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you 1,000%. I mean, scoring should not be should not be a problem for this team come this football season. Like they're honestly, I would say post my playing days for the Cowboys in 2011 or 12, whenever that was, I have not been excited to see a football team get on the field, or I have not wanted to see a football team on the field as much as I am with this football team right here. Like I am so frustrated that this, I get I'm not being insensitive to anyone with the coronavirus, but I'm so frustrated that we have to deal with this coronavirus, because I want to see rookie minicamp. I want to see OTAs. I want to see when the veterans get there. I want to see the minicamps. I want to see everything. I want to see this team so bad. Oh, this draft has made me want to see this team in full on assemble mode and just watching them work, because it's going to be, we haven't even talked about the quarterback that we picked up, but there's some guys on this defense that's going to be now have to go out there and compete for a job. I hope that Mike Nolan and I hope that Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy take the gloves off and let these dudes just compete. Every day at practice should be a full-on competition with these guys, and let the dogs be dogs, and those who can't keep up with the pack weed themselves out. But this team right here, especially offensively, will be one that I cannot wait to see all come together, because there's literally, I mean, there's some soft spots, but there is no weakness in this offense. It really isn't. I know that we lost the center, but I think Joe Looney is good enough to hold his own. There really isn't a weakness in this offense, especially when it comes to skill players, and they should be able to go up and down the field on any and every team in the NFC East and in the National Football League.
I tell you what's amazing is it's going to be competition, I think, at that center spot, because Coach McCarthy and Coach Philbin don't know these. They've seen film, but they don't know these guys. You know, so a guy that they've drafted, the center they've drafted in the 4th round, and they moved up to get him. So that means they like him. So they're going to give him an opportunity once this thing starts. And I'm with you, Jesse, because if this thing is cut down to 3 weeks of preseason or something like that, well, you're going to go with the veteran. But if this thing is the full 5 or 6 weeks and they get a couple of weeks of mini camps in, then it's open. Defensively, we went out and got Trayvon Diggs. This kid is raw in a lot of ways, but as you watch him on film, you see he know how to get his head around for the ball. Now, what technique you gonna do there? So these coaches have watched that. Hey, this dude will go at the ball, but we gotta scheme him up and put him in a better position than what the old regime did. I'm not knocking the old regime, because I told people that system works, but you have to have superb and supreme athletes. We didn't have superb and supreme athletes. They didn't apply themselves at the time, because I don't know what Cheeto Bags Wuze is going to do with this new coaching staff, but I'm with you 100%. Let it be a true competition. Let our defensive team, nobody should walk in saying, hey, I'm this man and that man. It'd be like, nah, homie, nah. You got to show us. I'm sorry, we ain't the old regime. You in this package, but not in this package. You in that package, because this guy can do this better. And I'm sorry. If you don't like it, pack it up. Super Bowl time.
We got to pack it up and go to our first break. We are so far behind, because I am excited. And I just
it's
wanted
CeeDee
to hear
Lamb
what you guys
fault.
had to
It's
say.
CeeDee Lamb fault. Jerry said blame it on CD.
All right, well, we got to pay some bills to stay on the air so we can talk every Monday. So we'll be right back on Hangin' with the Boys.
The Cowboys Way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys Way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019 Bank of America Corporation.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper. So nice to treat you.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus!
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS One score, September 2019.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the SWBC Mortgage Bedroom, Frisco, Texas. Shannon Gross, joined by Kurt Daniels, Nate Newton, Jesse Holly. And here's what you fellas need to do. You need to go to wingstop.com now to get the undeniable deliciousness delivered right to your door. Your choice of 11 mouth-watering flavors like zesty lemon pepper, mango habanero, or spicy Korean Q. All available in boneless or classic. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. All right, we talked about CeeDee the whole first segment. Let's get into what they did after CeeDee Lamb. Round 2, I'm just going to read off the draft picks and then we'll get into each one of them. Round 2, they went with the cornerback Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama. Then they went with Neville Gilmore, the defensive tackle, cornerback in the 4th round, Reggie Robinson, 4th round pick, the center, Tyler. How do you say his last name? Badass? Is that how you say his last name? Okay.
Biadish, sorry.
Biadish, okay.
I like badass, so we'll just go with that.
I do too. Let's just go with that. Fifth round pick, the defensive end Bradley Anae, and then in the 7th round they picked up an interesting pick, the quarterback Ben DiNucci, which you gotta love that name, man. That is such a Jesse, that's like a Jersey name, isn't it? Just a good person.
That's a mob style name.
I mean, that's just I just hope he does well because I mean he just sounds gangster. I love that, man. I love it. All right, so what are we getting, Nate? What are we getting in Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama?
You getting a guy that came to Alabama as a wide receiver, and he played a little bit there, and then. I think he hurt his foot or something like that. And then, he hurt his foot somewhere along the line. But his coach, Saban, came to him and said, "Son, would you like to try a little bit at corner?" He didn't force him over. He just said, "We see you as a corner. Would you like to try it?" He tried it and liked it, and he blossomed at it. So we getting a guy that's still kind of raw. Sometimes you can separate yourself from him because. He's just he's still basically new, but he got a lot of upside. And he's a guy, and Jesse can tell you, he's a guy that can get his head around. He sees the ball. He got nice anticipation with receivers. I like this pick. He was one of the guys that I was hoping would be there. Once we didn't get that 1st round pick, I was like, okay, it was a few guys that I thought would fall to him. There was another guy, Xavier, safety from Bama, that I liked too. But this was the second guy that I liked as a corner coming in. His kid at LSU that was like 4th, and I liked him. But this was my first pick. It was Diggs. Jesse, what you think about this kid, man?
Well, first thing I noticed about him is what you said, Nate. He has the ability to turn and catch the ball. And being that he has a receiver background, he's confident with his hands, right? He's not questioning when the ball's in the air how to catch it or will I catch it. He's very confident in catching the football when it's in the air. Then he comes from a good line of pedigree. Not only is he in the National Football League now, but he's the little brother of Stephon Diggs. So he's been around what it looks like, how to be a professional, how to study, how to practice, how to train. All those things that you want a guy to learn over time. There are a certain few who have relatives or close friends who've been in the league. So he's had a chance to watch his brother in the league. So he understands, he already has a leg up on all the other rookies of what it is to come in and be a professional. But I like it. I can always work the technical things, but there's certain things that you just can't teach. Anticipation, instincts, those things are just pure to the blood, and he has all of those things. So teaching him little technical things with his eyes and his feet, you can always work with that. Again, I'm frustrated that we have to deal with the corona because these are the times when you work with those things in the off season, but he has those things that are already built in his DNA that's going to allow him to go out there and compete at a high level. And he's played some slot and he's played some outside. He has some size. So when you go up against the bigger receivers, he can get the line of scrimmage and be physical with them. But he also has the ability to turn and run. And when he's running, he knows when I look back for the ball, not to lose coverage and how to go up there and catch the ball at its highest point with keeping the guy on his back because he has a receiver background. So when they first took CeeDee Lamb, and I understood it, and I know that I wanted a defensive guy in the first round, when they went and grabbed Diggs and they got another corner after that, that to me is what really put this draft together, because they went and got the necessary pieces, and he is one. You add Jordan Lewis to the mix, you add some other guys to the mix, they're going to be able to compete on the outside.
Kurt, what'd you go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, he's a walk-in starter. For me, the two outside corners, and Jesse said it, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. They should be queasy in the stomach. It should be all about competition. You know, Lewis is my slot. This guy is going to be competing for one of them outside corners, pushing Brown maybe to the inside, and letting the other two guys let them compete for that spot. But give it to him from day one.
Yeah,
what did you guys have in the magazine about him?
Well, he was. I think Kyle did our rankings on him, and they had him as the fifth best. Or our magazine had him the fifth best cornerback in the draft. So, you know, a lot of people had him rated as a late first, early second rounder, and you know the Cowboys picked him up at pick 51, which is kind of the, you know, the tag word of the Cowboys draft. This is value. You know, it was value picks throughout, and this guy fits the bill perfectly. I mean, this is, you know, they looked at him. A lot of teams looked at him, I guess, as a potential first rounder, and the Cowboys snuck away with him that late in the second. So I agree. I mean, he's got good size. He knows what he's doing. He's one of these guys that obviously can go get the ball. I mean, it's exciting. He, like Nate said, he should definitely compete for a starting job right out of the gate.
Yeah, the thing that I noticed about him, the limited amount of film that I watched, is he plays the ball like a wide receiver. Like he doesn't play it timidly. He's not looking back. Like his head comes around, and when he identifies the ball is going to be in a certain spot, he goes and gets it. He doesn't play the receiver. He's going to get the ball. So that's one thing I think that we've been missing on this team for several years is somebody that's a ball hawk kind of guy. Hopefully he can be that kind of guy. Kurt, what did y'all have in the magazine on CeeDee?
Oh, we had him as the top-rated receiver. And so
really?
to have him fall to him at 17, I mean, that was awesome. I mean, he was on our cover. We knew what we were doing, you know?
Yeah.
I tell you what. It was him and Judy all the way, but the Raiders who threw a wrench in it with Henry?
Yeah.
And they went with Ruggs?
Yeah, that was a surprise.
You could feel Jerry Yachts tremble. When the Raiders took that pick, you just felt the waves start to go a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? And because I said, "Oh my God, and see me wanting the defensive player. You know, I'm looking and counting. It's 3 receivers left, not even counting Jefferson from LSU. I'm like, fellas, if this thing comes down to the defensive player and the offensive player, because you know we know the old Jerry. When they had to fight him off not to take the quarterback from Texas A&M and keep the center that we just lost to retirement. So the old Jerry, I knew what was going to happen. But now when it was CeeDee Lamb, how could you not?
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you guys think of the third-round pick, Neville Gallimore, the defensive tackle?
Let me tell you something good. Let me tell you something good. We saw this kid in the Senior Bowl. Cal, you know, we were all out there. My man who's putting it on, Chris Bean, we were all out there. And he was showing out. This kid was showing. I'm like, this kid was at Oklahoma because I couldn't be Big 12. I'm like, this kid was showing out. Him and the guy, Jason Strawbridge, I think he went somewhere in the NFC East too. I don't know what, in the third or fourth or fifth round. But this kid was showing out. And when I saw him do his little interview and everything. He said, it started for me in the Senior Bowl. I had to show people what I could do. He's a effort guy that gives maximum effort. Sometimes when he played at college, they said he would kind of disappear. I think that's the system. Not allowing him to create, not allowing him to get upfield. He's a hustle guy. And when you're in the third round, that should never be a question, whether you're a hustle guy.
You worry about his size at all?
No. 6'2", 307 pounds, no, he's a 3 technique. We got Dontario Pope. We just going to stand him up in the middle of the field and just let him suck up bodies. And him and Gerald McCoy and this kid right here, they're going to make things happen. And then Antoine Woods, see now, oh my God, it's competition. Antoine, we're going to see the old Antoine Woods of 2 years ago because the competition is going to be so great. You are set. And now the young kid, Tristan Hill, he going to see how it is. Like, oh my God, we got this dude in the third round. He never stops working. When you got guys around you that's working, that thing get contagious. You want a piece of it. And this guy's gonna work. He come from Canada somewhere. This dude a rough rider. This dude coming to play. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I watched him it started him at the Senior Bowl. I think he's a 4'8" guy. You know, middle, a 4'8" guy. Come on, man. This dude can run. He's an effort guy, man.
I tell you what, he sent us a video that we put on social media just saying he's happy to be on the team, and his traps are up to the top of his head, man. He is thick. He looks like a fire hydrant. So, what'd you think about the pick, Jesse?
No, I loved it. At the time, I didn't understand. Again, when you look at the draft today, as things were happening, I was wanting another corner because I truly believe that this league is a passing league, and we're going to see more. Before, we used to have a 5,000-yard passer, it was like, wow, 5,000. You're going to see 5,000 yards become a normal thing going forward in the National Football League. It used to be 1, maybe 2 guys. It's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9 guys passing for 5,000 yards. But once you saw how they put everything together, I love the pick. Not only do you get another guy that you can use across that front, right? I think the biggest thing when defensive linemen now, because we're such an up-tempo type of style and play, having guys who can play a little 3 technique, a little 1 technique, have some tackle in twist where he lines up outside, but then he twists back inside, and now you have one of those fast guys coming back around the outside. Giving yourself a smorgasbord of players across that defensive line is key, because in the fourth quarter, when it's go time, you have a bunch of guys who are dogs but who are fresh, and you're not having to play them 60 snaps a game. They can play 25, 28, 30 snaps a game, and they're fresh when the fourth quarter comes. Because again, if this offense is scoring 35 points a game, that means in the fourth quarter, teams are going to either be in a shootout or having to go all pass because they're trying to catch back up. Well, I want fresh defensive linemen coming in, collapsing that pocket, making that quarterback feel uncomfortable in the pocket, not sucking wind, gassed in the fourth quarter because they had to play 65 snaps. So adding another piece, another guy, a hungry guy into that mix. I'm going to be honest with you, and I know that Tristan Hill was a high pick last year in the second round. If he doesn't find some get up and go this offseason, he might be the odd man out. You may see a guy that's sitting on the bench a lot this season, because when you talk about Poe and you're talking about McCoy and you now add this guy, and like Nate said, you add a hungry Antoine Woods back into the mix, you're going to have guys now when you're looking around and saying, we only got enough jerseys for about 4 of you guys to play on Sunday, and somebody might be the odd man out, because look at what the Eagles have done. They're going to be in a lot of 3-4 wide receiver sets, which means your packages are going to change, where you're going to need more defensive backs up and ready to go on game day. Now, the one thing that might help a guy like Tristan Hill is that they added some more guys on that active roster, game day roster. But again, if you're trying to put more DBs, safeties, and linebackers out there, Tristan Hill, if he doesn't find that hunger and that aggressiveness and that willingness to go out there and compete, he might find himself holding a bag of sunflower seeds on the sideline on Sunday. I like this.
I tell you what, this this coaching staff and Will McClay and Steven and Jerry have very under the radar put together a front seven that, I mean, this thing's got the potential to be really good this year, man. The pieces they've added with this pick and, you know, McCoy and Poe, like you said, Jesse, like keeping these guys fresh. We know what kind of motor that Tyrone Crawford's got if he can get back to full strength. We know what kind of motor Antoine Woods has got if you can keep him under 30 snaps. He is a monster. Then you got, you know, Tank. We know what he's all about. So I don't know which part of this team I'm more interested in seeing. The how the linebackers do with these new big guys up front that can keep these bodies off of them. The defensive front, this wide receiving core. You know, Tony Pollard, I think Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy are going to do some things with him to get him involved like we haven't seen before, like we didn't see last year. You got Zeke. Dak, is he going to take the next step? Blake Jarwin at tight end, he's going to get a chance to show out.
Shannon.
I'm pumped. Yes.
Shannon, you know, I hear what you're saying about our quarterback, and a lot of people have said that will he take the next step? You know what? And Jesse and all of you guys, y'all may not agree with me. It ain't the next step, bro. All it is just throw the ball to the right person. I'm being honest, fellas.
Yeah.
I mean,
just get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
Kurt, you said it, my man, and you looking better than ever, Kurt. Wow. But
I think Nate's got a little bit of a man crush going on you today, Kurt.
No, I'm just saying, I ain't
Jesse,
seen
you got
Kurt
bumped.
fresh.
You let that beard and that hair get shaggy. He just bumped you right out. Kurt
I think Nate's been in quarantine too long.
Stop, Jesse. Hey, let me tell you something.
We'll take a quick break. I want to get y'all's thoughts on the rest of the draft. And does it bother you that we did not get a safety? Who is going to play safety on this team when we come back on Hangin' with the Boys?
Planning your next family vacation? Make it Dreams Plymouth Harris Golf Resort and Spa. Enjoy the perks of unlimited luxury at this all-suite beachfront haven where gourmet meals, premium drinks, and activities are all included. Only 10 minutes from downtown Cancun, Dreams is situated on a private white sand beach. Soak in the views from the infinity pool, pamper yourself at our spa, or enjoy family time at the lazy river and water park. Book your stay today at Dreams Plymouth Harris by visiting dreamsresorts.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The Cowboys Way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys Way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019 Bank of America Corporation.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2019.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
We're back. The SWBC Mortgage Bedroom in Frisco, Texas. Shannon Gross, Nate Newton, Jesse Holly, Kurt Daniels. We are Hanging with the Boys. And here at the Dallas Cowboys. We can't wait to get back on the field, and we know you can't wait to pack AT&T Stadium to cheer us on. When that time comes, SeatGeek is the place to get all of your Cowboys tickets, plus tickets to the hundreds of games, concerts, rodeos, and other live events we'll be able to enjoy again soon. Every SeatGeek purchase is protected by a buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. SeatGeek. Let's go. And let's go on. We got about 10 minutes left in this show. We could do like a 5-hour show. We could probably do a 24-hour show today. There's so much going on.
Hey, Shatter.
Hey.
Just don't mention CeeDee Lamb and let Jesse go off again, boy. I was like, I was going to go run up and down AT&T Stadium as he was talking, my friend.
You know what? What may be the best thing to come out of this draft is we actually got Jesse to be positive for an entire show. I know we got 10 minutes left, but he ain't hated on nobody. He ain't hated on none of the coaches, none of the players. He was all over Will McClay at the beginning of the segment. Like, he's in love with Will. He's in love with Jerry. Let's go, Jesse. I like it.
You know he in love if he got on his cowboy hat, Shannon. Yeah. He got on his cowboy hat today.
Yep. Looking good.
Wow.
We'll get into these other draft picks. We'll go down the list. Were you upset at all that they didn't go safety, or are you good with, you got what? You got Ha-Ha, you got Woods, and then you don't really have anything behind them. You don't really have a safety net back there. And I just saw
there's some guys out there that's free. There's still some guys out there in free agency that's very much free. Even at the corner position, it's going to be enough bodies. And I hate to say it, by this virus, it's a lot of guys got left out of free agency. There's going to be some guys willing to sign some $2 million contracts per year. I promise you. Because they're going to be looking to get in camp. Them agents' pockets are hurting. They'll be like, hey, man, take a little less. Get in somebody's camp.
So far, it looks like they've signed a rookie free agent, Luther Kirk, a safety out of Illinois State. But that was maybe the one thing. The one thing I might have questioned is, I know they want to develop a quarterback, but the odds of a 7th-round quarterback working out are pretty slim. I just wonder, could that have been better spent on take a flyer on a safety type where maybe he's got a little better shot. That would be my only question there is, they didn't get a safety. They need maybe some more depth there. Could they have used a pick like that on a flyer there on the defense?
Yeah, I just saw where on Kayvon Frazier's social media over yesterday that he got signed by Miami, so a little less depth there. And that's an interesting pick is the quarterback. I think that was only the 7th quarterback drafted since Jerry purchased the team. Does that sound right, Kurt? Did I read that?
Yeah, that's about right, man. That's about right.
So they don't have a history of drafting quarterbacks and taking flyers, especially when they have the main piece in place. Like, they never really, they kind of lucked up on Dak and drafted him when Tony was here. But before that, they really haven't drafted late round developmental guys. Jesse, what did you think about this pick? Do you know anything about this guy, and what were your thoughts when they picked him?
No, most people didn't know much about him, and then you start kind of doing some research on him, and you find out that he was like top 3 in the country in passing percentage. So he's accurate with the football, he's smart with the football, doesn't turn the ball over much. And I think the biggest thing is, and we talked about it a lot last year, and there was a point in time of the season, remember that, Nate, when we kept saying Dak had the arm injury, whether it was the shoulder or the elbow, and we kept saying to ourselves, well, can we trust the guy behind him? And a lot of us were saying, I'd rather go with a 70% Dak than 100% of his backup. And so maybe this is somebody can come in, and you got to have a little bit of protection because Dak still ain't signed his franchise tag. So if this is something that you're talking about now may go into training camp, you need camp arms. You need some arm that's going to be able to go out there and do something with your offense with all these weapons. So, getting another quarterback with your quarterback your starting quarterback right now that you have not signing his franchise tag, and also we don't know where Dak will be as far as mentally He's dealing right now with some serious stuff, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Prescott family and Dak as well. So I think getting that right there was just a little bit of insurance of we have a guy who hasn't signed his franchise tag. We're back and forth in contract disputes. He's dealing with some family issues right now. So having a guy ready to go whenever this shelter at home is lifted and guys are able to get back to the facility, they're going to need someone in there to run offense and to develop. So, and that is the history of Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is a guy who loves his quarterbacks and be able to develop quarterbacks. Has some guys in the pipeline so that in the next couple years, if the next time around Dak is looking to hold out again, they can either say, hey, we got a guy who's ready to go, or bring the next guy in. But Mike McCarthy is always a guy who's had a quarterback or two on his roster that he's allowed to develop over time. So this is right on par of what Mike McCarthy is as a head coach.
I heard this was a straight muscle move by Charles Haley because he graduated from James Madison. So I think he stormed in there. He found out where Jerry Yacht was located and put something on him.
I want to see Haley.
Yeah.
The Cowboys reportedly have signed a rookie free agent, Rondell Carter, an edge rusher from James Madison. I can't wait to see Haley work with him. He probably don't know what he's in for.
Keep Charles Haley away from all the incoming rookies. Keep Charles away. Let someone else.
He got a double knee replacement, so he's going to be able to get out now into a stance. So somebody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another guy I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on. Drafted a center out of Wisconsin. That's pretty straightforward. You know what you're hopefully getting there.
A smart guy, a tough guy.
Right.
Remington Award winner. He was top center in the country.
This is what I like. Some programs are known for certain positions. Offensive lineman, running back, Wisconsin has been known to give you that guy. And they could be journeyman. He could be a guy that played in the league 4, 5, 6 years. Just because he's going to be a smart guy, he's going to be a tough guy, he's going to give great effort. And in today's NFL, offensively, defensively, for offensive and defensive linemen, you're going to have to give great effort. Because like Jesse said, the game has changed. It's more up-tempo. Everything is about quickness, moving around, being smart, being in the right place. And I want to believe that anybody from Wisconsin, especially a center, is going to be a smart, tough guy.
Yeah, the guy that I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on was the defensive end they got in the 5th round. Bradley Anae. Is it Anae? Is that am I pronouncing that sound like Nate?
I think it's Anah.
It's okay, man. We'll get it right if he proved to be right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, if he's tough and bad, See, my thing. Let me get this in right quick. Like, I said I didn't watch the draft, but as I was driving around, taking my little leisurely drive, it was a run on defensive players from Utah, and one of the announcers was just repeatedly praising the defensive coordinator and head coach because Utah defense was special. And so, I hope I was hearing it right because it was just bits and pieces, but they say the Utah guys are pretty tough, and they went out around the country and got guys. So I'm hoping he's one of these tough guys they were talking about. And I'm gonna let Jesse take this.
This, if there's any pick outside of the CeeDee Lamb pick that got me excited, I like this pick. I think he's going to be one of the guys that when we look back after the season has given us tremendous value. It's going to be Bradley Anae. He has quickness, he has toughness. I mean, when you watch him, he's the kind of guy, see ball, get ball. Whoever has it, he's going to get to them. And when he does, he's not coming for a polite conversation. He's coming to be nasty. And I like that about this guy, man. He is a physical player. He gets to the football, and when he gets there with an aggression. Like, he gets there violently. He wants you to know that I am here. He wants you to feel him. He wants you to fear him. He wants to instill fear in you all game long. And a guy like that, you put him in the foxhole with me any day. I think he's going to show tremendous value to this football team. If there's a guy who I kind of want to put a star by his name and kind of watch him all through the year, Bradley Anae. He's going to bring a level of toughness to the quote-unquote hot boys that may give them that extra. He's not going to be a guy that's going to take nothing from anyone on the defense and anyone on the offense. He's going to be a guy that's going to be like, let's go out here and get it. And I love that about guys like him.
Just another guy. He's one of those. No, he's another one of those value picks. You know, I mean, I think they had a 3rd, 4th round grade on him, and you know, you're getting a guy he was a defensive lineman in the Pac-12, a consensus All-American, 30 sacks in 3 years. I mean, that's pretty impressive no matter what level. So, I'm kind of with Jesse here. This could be the real steal of the draft. This guy.
So Jesse, you have your money on at training camp. He's going to be in more fights than anybody. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, not only in more fights, he's going to win more fights than anyone in training camp.
Ooh, oh.
Win.
There you go.
Win.
You heard it. You heard it right here. Well, fellas, man, I don't want to go today. Today's one of those days where I just want to talk all day long. But
let's come back tomorrow.
I know Beam's got things to do. Kurt, I know you got things to do. Nate, I know you ain't got
I'm loving on you today. I'm loving on you today, Shannon. That pretty as Kurt looking, I just don't know.
I know. Man. All right. Well, fellas, this has been great, man. I wish we could do it all day long. So much to talk about. I'm sure there's going to be things that are happening, free agent signings during the week that we're going to be able to talk about next Monday. I can't wait, man. I have not been this excited in a long time. I'm like Jesse. I'm ready to get back in the building and see these guys in person and talk to them and see what they're all about, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for football, man. One step closer. Kurt,
football horny,
thanks
baby.
for being here, brother. Nate, thanks for bringing it as always. Jesse, thanks for being here and only having your technology fail you one time during the show. Chris, thanks for keeping us on track, man. Thanks for filling in for Matt Kent. We will be back next Monday.
Get a razor blade for Jesse. He needs some aggressive cut.
Hanging with the boys. See you next week.
Kettle black.
I am black.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!